I'm esoteric Essa, creative entrepreneur and business owner. I've been an entrepreneur for well over 8 years at this point, and in this video, we are going to discuss what mistakes to avoid when you are launching your own spiritual business. As I mentioned, I am a spiritual business owner. I have an online business, and I am a second generation psychic tarot reader, among many other things. When you first start your business, you have to determine who is your audience, who is your clientele, who do you want to connect with. Determining who you're serving, because you are going to be some sort of service-based business, maybe product-based, but even if you are product-based, that's neither here or there. You need to determine who is your clientele, because the level of accessibility that you want to provide will be determined by that. So mistake number one, a lot of people who launch spiritual businesses, you're an empath and you understand that money is neither good or bad, money is neutral, but you also want to serve your community and you want to create accessibility. And that can lead you towards the mistake of undervaluing yourself, underpricing yourself. And you have to remember, here's the number one mistake. You are running a business. You need to create profit. You have to make profit. So mistake number two is sometimes what I see entrepreneurs in this space do is they guilt themselves from wanting to feel like they deserve money or not. They guilt themselves from saying they have a livelihood to sustain and that they like money. They like to live in comfort. There's nothing wrong with that while navigating spirituality and our reality here in the 3D. But the second mistake is people then, because they guilt themselves and have shame around money, they're empaths, they're super compassionate. Somehow their business ends up becoming a not-for-profit or a nonprofit. So this ties really well into mistake number one. You are not running a not-for-profit. You are not running a non-profit. You are running a for-profit business, meaning unless you are getting funding from other sources for your business, you have to price right and you have to pay yourself accordingly. Unless you're fundraising all the time or you have other funnels of income coming in to sustain your business that you can lean on so you can create cheaper prices and affordability for access points for your clientele, then you will burn out fast. So pricing accordingly, paying yourself accordingly, especially if you are paying for your time, which most businesses fall into that motto, it's pay for time, whether you're service or product based, until you're able to get someone to do operations for you and you outsource operations as a product based business, you're going to be the one packing and shipping your orders, right? And of course, if you're a service-based business, you're the one sitting there one-on-one creating the spiritual services, whether it's a Reiki practitioner, a spiritual coach, an astrologer, a numerologist, etc. So mistake number three, don't make this mistake as a spiritual business owner, spiritual entrepreneur, creative entrepreneur, is you have to make sure that you are not burning yourself out by overworking yourself. Entrepreneurship is one of the most beautiful spiritual journeys you can undergo for yourself. A personal, solo, spiritual journey. Veer into entrepreneurship. Be a business owner. You walked away from capitalism, corporate America, and entrepreneurship will teach you actually where you still need to decolonize your mind, especially as a spiritual entrepreneur. You will notice yourself falling back into old corporate, old capitalist habits, meaning you're wearing 12 hats at once. You're wearing all 5 hats at once. You're the marketer, the social media strategist, you're the graphic designer, you're learning Google SEO, and you're doing the day-to-day. So oftentimes the mistake that's made in this case is you're not prioritizing rest, you're not prioritizing your own schedule. So burning out means you're not making time to eat right, you're not making time to sleep, you're not making time to explore life outside of work, other passions, right? Other hobbies and passions that don't have to be monetized or publicized in any way. So the third mistake is not making time for yourself, not balancing that work-life schedule, that work-life balance. That's going to burn you out. You're going to get gassed out. The fourth mistake that I see a lot of spiritual business owners make is they give up too easily. There is a lot of competition in this space. The spiritual realm, spiritual businesses, spiritual services is very diluted at this point. We have online, we have the social media sphere. Everyone can be an expert. Just turn on your phone. So oftentimes you'll find people get drowned out, voices get drowned out. So don't let that discourage you. Mistake number 4 is people think that success is going to happen overnight. Sometimes people get lucky and they catch their big break, and yeah, overnight their business is a success, their service, their product, they become viral. Don't expect virility. Don't expect your video on TikTok to go viral. Don't expect to sell out on Instagram Reels in the first week. I'm not saying that so you can be jaded. I'm not trying to come off as a negative personality here, but entrepreneurship is about being grounded. There are highs, there are lows, and there are highs and there are lows. And the highs and lows never stop, they never go away. Sometimes because of the access to social media and because what people put out there is really only their highlight reel, really only the positivity, you don't see the struggle behind entrepreneurship. You don't see the days where you want to quit, you want to give up on yourself, the days of discouragement. Realistically, it takes time to build a business, to build reputation, to build a voice of authority. A lot of that comes from experience, lived experience, okay? And being a business owner, you have to remember, especially in your beginning stages, that there is a high probability that within your first year, you may not make all the sales or hit the quota that you want to hit. Maybe you will, but you have to be realistic. Don't jump into entrepreneurship and being a business owner, especially in spirituality, thinking that you're going to be the next top YouTube personality. That can definitely happen, but entrepreneurship is about cultivating repertoire. And you do that by sharing lived experience. And that's how you position yourself as a voice of authority. That's how people can separate you as an authentic voice, as an authentic personality, as an authentic soul, especially in the spiritual fields of work. Those are my 4 mistakes that oftentimes new entrepreneurs, new beginners in the spiritual business realm find themselves in. There's plenty more to come. Don't forget to subscribe. You can book a one-on-one spiritual coaching session with me, astrology sessions with me, or check out my Patreon. I'm a published writer, astrologer, and I'm your esoteric homegirl. I'll catch you on the next video. May you manifest wisely.